Hey guys, it's the Big Gooey here again, and today I have a very special guest with me, Enzo from Conkis. How are you doing?
I'm good, very good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, it's always a pleasure. I would love if you'd introduce yourself a little bit, Enzo.
Sure. Well, my real name is Josema, but everybody calls me Enzo. So, well, I'm from Spain, based on Madrid, and I've been software developer for 15 years already. Um, my last job was a blockchain company based in Singapore. So, yeah, I'm kind of a nerd and a very a very uh, gamer, very good gamer, I would say.
Love to hear it. You got lots of experience. It sounds like
Hmm.
both in the front and the back. Very cool. Well, could you give us a kind of a quick introduction about what Conkis is all about?
Sure. Conquest is a turn-based tactical game. Uh, it's based on web browser, but the idea is to make a competitive game on the Web3 environment. And right now is one versus one game, and it will be uh, it also has a TGC system where you can buy cards as NFTs that improve your game, and it will also have a token, but we can talk more about that later if you want. But
Cool. Yeah, sounds
yeah.
good. Sounds good. Well, what were some of the games or favorite games you had as a kid growing up? Were you a big video gamer?
Mainly Counter Strike and
Oh, nice.
and and
Classic.
and the and the Age of Empires saga, like Age of Mythology, The Conquerors, Age of Empires, and all the strategic games. Yeah,
Ah, it's all making sense now.
yeah. I also played too much to FIFA and Tekken and PlayStation with friends. So yeah,
Did you find
I'm very into competitive games more than uh, story based games. So yeah,
Gotcha, yeah, yeah. You want to know who's first, right?
yeah.
Uh, and
I like to beat friends and play against them. So that's
I
the main
find
thing.
when people are really into competitive games, you always end up finding like how to achieve the best. Like you're always able to find out how to like exploit the game to get to the first place, as it were, or um, I don't. It's not quite cheating, right? But you find the quickest pathway or the combination of moves, or whatever it is that kind of gets you to the end post. There has that kind of been your experience in strategy games as well?
in in my experience on the way I am is more you become obsessive on that game and you try to find ways to beat your friends or improve yourself, so you are like studying the video game more deeply, so to just to improve. But I think any sports and any video game that is competitive is in that way. You have to be very obsessive on to improve.
You have to live the game, as it were. Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, absolutely.
That's
So,
true.
can you tell us a little bit? What inspired you to make Conquest?
Well, Ace of Empires was one of the one of the inspiration, and also chess. I used to play chess. Also, I play right now, and I somehow I imagine instead of a king or a queen, I imagine an archer or a knight in the board. So that's the combination of Age of Empires and chess made me the idea of Conquist. So
Very cool.
mm,
Very
mm.
cool. I'm a chess player myself. I love
Really
how like
cool.
I'm not any good, but I definitely like
Well, me
enjoy
neither.
the I enjoy the like once you really get into that game, I think you really understand all the layers to it, and just there's a universe of moves that you can end up
Mm.
making, and I think it makes sense given I've played a little bit of Conkis in terms of how that relates to chess as well. So it's
Hmm.
cool that such a an old game is still echoing into the future of how game development goes. It's just it's so
Yeah,
elegantly simple, yet everybody just
yeah,
loves playing it, right?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah, very
it's
cool.
simple but complex at the same time. The rules are very easy to learn, but as soon as you go deep and deep in the game, you understand that the possibilities are infinite. So that's why it's make a very good game and everybody loves it. And I
Yeah.
hope that Conquest will be some kind similar. Not always impossible to compare with chess, but but our idea is that people love the competitive way and get obsessed of making strategies and making better themselves.
Well, I imagine too there might be some ways that like different play styles will emerge within the game too, just as in chess, right? Like some people play the game very aggressively, some people play it very defensively. Like I imagine the same thing could be true in Conquest as well, right?
Yeah, there's and also we have there is another variable which is the flags that are spread over the board. So some people are very into capturing the flags, and other players are just straightforward and try to analyze their enemies, the enemy forces.
Mm,
So the flags gives another component of a strategy. So
very
yeah,
cool.
and with cards, it will be more complex and more uh, bigger in sense of strategies.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to ask about in terms of adding like a TCG layer to the game. I think it really it spices it up and adds a lot of variety. What was your choice to like go down that road rather than just keep it a competitive game in the way it was?
At the beginning, we didn't design the cards as it is. Conquest was just two two trop, two teams with their own armies, and that's it on the board. But then we realized that we needed a way to engage users in the long run and gives more strategies and more gameplay options. So we came up with the idea of adding cards, which is abilities that you can use in game.
Very cool. And can you, for our viewers, can you tell us a little bit about what some of the different cards do to change the gameplay?
Yeah, not sure if do you want to do you want me to share it like this, or do you want me to share the screen?
Just over the mic is fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, right now we have five. One is Holy Berries, for example, and that card generates the health of the unit you choose. Another card is Adrenaline, which is it gives an extra damage to the units that you put it on.
Very
So
cool.
we have too many, and the idea is to have as much as possible. The idea is to have as much as possible. We only have five right now, but it's in our plan to have hundred or more.
Very cool. All right on. And then, do you think that do you think that in terms of the like they've got different rankings within the cards as well, right? Like common
Yeah,
all the way up to is it legendary that you guys have?
yeah. Every card has five rarities, which is common, rare, epic, and legendary. So the difference between each rarity is the amount of power or mana, you can call it mana, that is used in the game. So, for example, when you start a game, you start with 100 power, okay? And if you use a card that is 20 of power, so you have 80 left. So you have to control
Mm,
how many power do you have and how many power do you use. So the rarity gives you mm, less power in each card, so it costs less power.
gotcha. Gotcha. So if you got a whole legendary deck, You could throw them all
you
at
have
him.
you have a bit advantage, yeah.
Very cool.
But it's gonna be difficult because we wanted to make it very competitive, but at the same time, adding rarities, it will be some kind a pay to win. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be difficult to balance the competitiveness and the play to win uh, thing. So we have to be very careful there.
Kind of
The
like
idea,
tuning a, yeah, to do a fine tune, right? Like,
yeah, it's gonna be challenging to make it competitive, which is the way we want it to be Conquist.
yeah. Now, in terms of like what made you decide to bring the game into Web3? Because it originally was a Web2 based game, correct?
Yeah, well, it was Web2 game because the idea started like 10 years ago. It's a long story, uh, like idea, but we started very seriously 3 years ago, 4.5 years ago. Um, yeah, uh, we were very into crypto, me and the team, and we realized that giving the giving Conkis NFTs, which is the cards, uh, it will improve the, I don't know how to say it. It will give you the possibility to have to own the cards by yourself, because
Hmm.
that's what NFTs gives you, is you are the owner of your assets. So in our mind, Conquist with cards, it makes a lot of sense because people when buy the cards, they are buying the real asset and they can sell it at some point if they want.
Yeah, it's not just parked on a server somewhere that somebody can
Yeah,
just flick the switch on. I know that there's
exactly.
like I was a big Magic the or Magic the Gathering player when I was younger, and when it went over to you could play online, which was great because you could play with a whole bunch more people, but it's kind of the problem you're describing there, where you don't really own the cards. You know, it's all just kind of sitting on their server, which is kind of precarious. I guess it works for the time being, but I think in terms of people being able to trade these assets,
Yeah.
seems like a really big advantage.
Hmm. I think it's gonna be the future of gaming. At some point, big companies will pivot to Web3 at somehow because people are will ask for this feature to be the real owners of their assets. Because some people spend like thousands of dollars in skins of Fortnite, and they don't own it. They will lose it at some point. So,
Yeah.
huh,
Well, and it really does seem like it's out in the water now too, in terms of the Web3 kind of narrative wasn't quite as strong as it was 3 4 years ago, but now it just seems like that's kind of all everybody's talking about. So I venture to guess that if you're a gamer in any capacity, it's much more probably common that you're going to encounter that now, and people are
hmm,
talking about it. Whereas before there was a lot of um, I guess crypto is becoming far less scammy than it used to be. So I think the kind of the ability for gamers to start trying to play these games without having a hard wallet or connect to there's a lot of complications that can come with these games. But I think one of the things I really like about Conkus is you can just sign in with email and start playing right away. And really, you guys have um, I think I'm starting to see it a lot more, especially with the games that we're bringing on. Is the gameplay is very much front and center, and you can just hop right in. You get to experience it. There's no like heavy friction in terms of like
yeah,
if you just want to play the game, right, you're you sign in and you're connected with the
play it.
player almost automatically.
Yeah, and I think that's it's a problem for Web3 games right now. You have, for example, in Axie Infinity, to start playing, you needed to buy your first Axies, and you have to spend like $300 in the bubble. So
Hmm.
as you say, that's a lot of friction for users that just want to play and try the game. So the idea of having the concept of Web2 like we used to, like we usually have, and then adding Web3 features, I think is the way to go. and that's what we are doing in Conkis.
Very cool. I love it. Let's kind of touch on your crypto journey. You said that you had worked for another blockchain in the past.
Hmm. And no, not another blockchain. I mean another company that is in the blockchain space, but
Gotcha.
they create wallets and they have an exchange. They have also a token, which is it's a crypto token called Boto. It's related to art. Yeah, I had a background in terms of working. And when and about the question of when I started to go into crypto, it was in 2015 when I bought my first Bitcoin.
Oh boy,
And
you're a
yeah,
veteran at this
and
point.
I was kind of an early adopter, but I bought because my friends around work was telling me that it's a good technology, it's nice, but I didn't understand it at that time. At that time, I think it was what's this difference between the token of World of Warcraft and
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
yeah, yeah,
It's digital. It doesn't. It's fake. It's in my mind.
yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
doesn't have any value. But then after 2 years and learning and reading, then I understand the point of decentralization and the blockchain. Then I invested a little bit more, but it wasn't enough because everyone has that feeling that
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's
damn,
it's never
I
enough.
yeah, never know. And then I need to buy more, but well, that's it.
Very cool. No, I love to hear that. I remember reading the white paper. I came to it kind of later, about 2021, but it really opened my mind in terms of like what was possible. And I think I had the kind of same feeling before, where it felt very like abstract and hard to grasp. And because it was digital money, like I couldn't touch this stuff, so it must not be real,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
um, it's funny how your mind makes that switch once you kind of
yeah.
understand it.
I, I think it's because it's also that people in the school, at least in Spain, they don't teach us about economics and
Mm,
how money works. So as soon as you learn for yourself how it works, you started to understand what's the point of Bitcoin
for sure.
on the crypto space.
No, that's such
So
a great point.
you have to learn it for yourself. That's the bad thing.
No, it's the same here in Canada for sure. Um, I'm curious to know what made you choose Telos to be the blockchain to build Conkis on.
I think, to be honest, we had different offers, but we had many calls with your team, and we had a very good feeling from your side. I think you were very open, very you were like betting really well in Conquist. As that's what we felt. Um, that the fact that you have a very good transaction per seconds and it's a very scalable technology. I think that two things made us the decision to go with you guys. So
Love to hear it. And so has that been your experience in terms of using our EVM? I hear it's pretty quick.
yeah, yeah, it is. It's amazing actually. I've last week I just finished the payment methods with Telos using deposits. You will see it very soon. And it's amazing how fast is you make a transaction and in 1 or 2 seconds is done. It's done. It's pretty cool.
I love it. And
It's,
in terms of like the integration and like I hear the documentation's laid out pretty well. Was that your experience in terms of kind of the back end
yeah,
integration?
I think it's very straightforward. The thing is that you are using an EVM, is so most of the docs are very similar to the Ethereum networks. So somehow you will find it very easy. That's also adding to your uh, proper docs is good. Yeah.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Okay, what would you say are given you're developing a game for Web3, what would you say are some of the current barriers that are is causing the most friction in the environment right now?
Web3 gaming, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I think NFTs and the crypto space had a very bad marketing for people that are not in this space.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talked with friends that this is a nice game that use NFTs, they said NFTs. No, that's scams. That's so I think it's marketing. Right now is we have to change it. We have to teach people um, make a big effort to explain that NFTs is a new concept of having being owner of your assets. As soon as people understand that they will be the owner of their assets, everything that they buy on the game, they will understand that the point of NFTs and the with free games.
It kind of goes back to that point you made about Bitcoin is like until you like are actually using it or kind of getting your hands dirty with it, it seems like a really hard concept to grasp. I know I've tried to explain it to some normie friends at a party and they just their eyes glaze over or that's a total scam, dude. But it's like
Yeah.
I think until you actually either start trading these things or really start to understand that they are your assets and not being held somewhere else. It's kind of like a math equation that's put up on the board
Hmm.
that nobody really wants to take the time to
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
out.
that's true. That's true. That's true. That's the problem. But it will take time, just time.
Yeah,
Somehow, big companies will pivot to Web3, and some of them will use Web3 without knowing that they are using Web3. It's like my
yeah,
mom. They don't. My mom doesn't know what an HTTP protocol means. They just use it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So with NFTs in the future will be the same. People will see that they can sell it or they can move it to their wallets, but they don't know. They will never know that what blockchain these are.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I
Mhm.
totally agree. And then I guess my last question for you is, what excites you most about the crypto gaming space right now?
Well, uh, I think the same that I mentioned before. The idea of having your own assets is going to be a killer feature, and everything is to be done. As soon as big companies start to create Web3 games, everything will change, and companies will pivot in a gradual steps in gradual steps. So
Be like a sneak
as I
attack.
yeah, as I said, everything needs to be done. So we are the early adopters of the Web3 world, Web3 gaming. So I'm looking forward to see what's the next steps.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, I thanks so much for coming by, Enzo, and having a chat. It was great to catch up. And can you let folks know where they can find Conkis?
Yep, Conkis.com is spelled CONKIS.com. Sorry, my English is not the best, but
No, it's all good.
yeah, you can find there the Twitter account, Discord, and also a button to play directly. You can play on your web, sorry, on the web and your browser, or you can also play on Elixir, the Elixir platform, if you want to have a experience, full screen desktop experience.
Wonderful. Let's go. Well, thanks again, Enzo. This was great, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me. You, bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Take care.
Bye.